What's up, team? Today, March 5th, is the National Potty Dance Day. It's the national day for the little dance you do when you have to use the restroom. So, if you need to celebrate, I guess do a little potty dance, and there we go. That was strange. I typically, not every time, but I like to ask, what's today the national day of? And I had no idea that the potty dance had a national day of recognition. So, that's what today is. This last weekend, we had worship night, and I'm excited to see what we learned through the surveys, but I'm also really proud of our team. And it was fun for me to have a few moments to be able to sing with my family. It doesn't happen all the time. And if you were at Perrysburg, you know that song Gratitude is, it's a sneaky one. It sneaks up on me. I see the title, and then I forget the lyrics, and then I hear the lyrics, and I think of Lydia, and then I can't pull myself together. But thank you for working through that, and for all of you, the work that and the opportunity that we had to serve our church there and to worship our great God. This weekend is the last weekend of I Said This, You Heard That. Andy has a great message. He's going to be talking about what types of words each temperament needs to hear. And I think that's going to be helpful. I know for me, I talk to my kids differently now, not just love language, but according to their temperament. My approach to them is a little different. Understanding this content was really helpful the last time we did it. Then we have Easter coming up, Angry Jesus. We're going to start Angry Jesus, where we are going to look at 5 different moments where Jesus got angry, or where it says that he got indignant. And we are going to see what is it that made him angry. Because if he, who never sinned, was angry about these things, what does it then inform about our anger and how we navigate that in our life? Or maybe things that we should have a holy discontent about. So I think this is a unique take on reading about Jesus, which is something that we do every pre-Easter. Last year it was places. We've done one-on-one with Jesus. We've done the letters in red. We try to find different ways to help people see and follow and get a greater appreciation for who Jesus is as we head into Easter. And so participate in the Matthew reading plan. It's a part of the New Testament reading plan. But let's lean into that together, learn together. I think we're going to be able to make it certainly relevant because I think everybody deals with anger. So I'm excited to see what God's going to do through all of that. And then I got to see some of the creative pieces for Easter, some of the work that our team is doing. They are unbelievable. And so I think Easter is going to be pretty special. Good Friday and Easter, we've got a great opportunity to tell that Easter story. It's the same content, same story every year. But our team does a creative, amazing job of finding a fresh way, a beautiful way to look at it. The question that I want you to think about, just for a couple minutes, though, today is, what is leadership? If you could define leadership, I want you to, what is that definition? Now, some of you have been to leadership summits in the past, and so you have some of those speakers, definitions rattling around in your brain, which is great. But I've been, asking a few people. I actually had a conversation with my son, Sam, about this a couple nights ago. And usually when people define leadership, they think of the adjectives that describe good leaders. So they say it's integrity, or it's inspiration, it's motivation. I think those are good adjectives. It's being brave and courageous and bold. I think those are good adjectives too. But if you were to simplify it down to fundamentally what is leadership, the simplest definition that I've heard is leadership is influence. It's moving people from here to there. I know it sounds basic to some of you, but that's what a leader does. And I think sometimes we confuse the adjectives that we see: integrity, character, hardworking, faithful. If we're not careful, we'll see leadership or the gift, we'll call the gift of yes, everybody has influence, so don't get me wrong. But there are some people that are gifted with it. That means they're not moving one or two people, they're creating a movement of people. They can lead or move a ministry or a room full of people from here to there. While I was at the Global Leadership Summit, I had a conversation with John Van Heusen. He's the CEO of Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware has over 6,000 locations. Now, we have a few in Toledo, but they really work on creating a localized feel, but they're a very national/corporate brand. And so it was fascinating to hear him talk about leadership. And one of the things that he said is the best leaders in the world are leading at local churches. We're kind of like, okay, yeah. And he goes on to say, he's like, as a CEO or in a business, I have levers that I can pull, levers of control, pay, benefits, like bonuses, they can pull those levers to get behavior. But in a church, we don't have pay for our dream team. We don't have the same levers that we can pull. We have to rely completely on leadership. Leadership is the gift that inspires the other gifts. You have to cast a vision around what the opportunity that people have to serve in your specific ministry so hot. You have to cast that vision so clearly that people are willing to show up on a weekend to serve because they see how God may use them. That's leadership. If we have a misguided understanding of it, then we'll stop recruiting leaders. So he says leaders take people where they would never go on their own. They rally people to a better future, and they galvanize people to do what must be done. That's what good leaders, that's what leaders do. And good leaders do that with courage and inspiration and integrity. Bad leaders do that with manipulation and abuse and aggression. But leaders in general need to be thinking about, who are we influencing? Like, who are you taking to places they could never go on their own? Or are you just talking about it? It's like, are you rallying people to a better future? Are we galvanizing people to do what must be done? That leadership definition challenged me, and I'm excited to talk about it a little bit more with our team, because I think the next gear of influence, to add an extra service or to be thinking about what we're going to do next, it's going to require that we lead, that we take people where they couldn't go on their own, where we rally people to a better future, where we galvanize people towards what must be done. But it also means we're going to need to call that out of others, build that gift in others, or build more leadership in others who have the gift. And so I want you to be thinking about that and churning it around a little bit, and I'll bring more content in the weeks and months ahead. So that's all I got for you today. Love you guys.